Hello, and welcome from JLG Industries Incorporated. On behalf of the 3,000 plus employees worldwide, we would like to extend our thanks to you for selecting a JLG personnel lift and straddle extension kit. For the remainder of this video, the JLG personnel lift will be referred to as the lift, and the straddle extension kit will be referred to as the SE kit. By following the recommendations for safe, proper setup and operation of the SE kit, and also by viewing this videotape, reading and understanding the operators and safety manuals that came with your lift, you, the operator, accept responsibility for the safe operation and setup of the SE kit. This presentation does not relieve the operator from the responsibility of obtaining, reading, and fully understanding the applicable operators and safety manual and other information provided by the manufacturer and your employer. In addition, the operator and employer are responsible for complying with federal, state, local, and provincial rules and regulations covering the proper setup and operation of this product. If there is a question on application and/or operation, contact the Product Safety and Reliability Department at JLG Industries Incorporated at 877-JLG-SAFE. The Operators and Safety Manual, EMI Safety Manual, and a copy of the ANSI Responsibilities Manual, ANSI A92.3, can be found and are to be maintained in the storage compartment located in the platform of the lift. Should any of these documents be missing, they may be obtained by calling 877-JLG-SAFE. This video presentation covers proper setup and operation of the SE kit equipped with the optional straddle ladder and the JLG Model 25AM DC, equipped with a quick chain side entry platform. JLG recommends the use of the straddle ladder and quick chain side entry platform with the SE kit. It is also assumed that the straddle extension adapter has been installed. The SE kit may be delivered either disassembled or in an upright partially assembled position. This video will detail the setup of the SE kit from a fully disassembled starting point. Review this entire video before you begin setting up the SE kit. Before each use, a walk-around inspection must be conducted on the SE kit and the lift. Ensure that there is no visible damage, loose parts, or hydraulic fluid leakage. Section 2 of the Operators and Safety Manual contains a complete inspection procedure for this lift to ensure that it is in operational readiness prior to being placed into service. The inspection of the SE kit consists of making sure that there is no visible damage, loose or missing parts, including pins, and that the casters and winch pulleys move freely. The SE kit consists of 4 assemblies and a total of 15 components. 2 end straddle supports with winch and cables, 2 side lifting rails with welded angular tubes, 2 extension rails with painted red ends, 4 aluminum outrigger pups, short aluminum channels with welded handles, 4 end caps, 3-inch by 5-inch plates with silver knobs, and 1 optional straddle ladder. Check to make sure that all the above-mentioned components are available. Do not use the SE kit if there are any missing parts. To begin setup, position your lift in a large enough area for assembly. You'll need an area roughly 5 feet wide by 10 feet long. The assembly area should be smooth, firm, level surface where the unit can be easily maneuvered. Step 1. Align the lift so that assembly can begin on the left side when you're looking at the lift from the platform end. Step 2. Install 1 aluminum outrigger pup into the outrigger socket at the left rear end of the lift's base. Push it in until the locking pin secures the outrigger pup into place. Always make sure that the groove in the outrigger pup is facing down to eliminate the chance of damage to the outrigger interlock contacts and the grommets in the lift space. Step 3. Locate the side lifting rail for the left side. It will be the one that, when installed, will have the pocket end of the side lifting rail towards the rear of the lift. Install it by sliding the double-angled tube over the protruding piece of the outrigger pup. Step 4. On the same side, install an outrigger pup through the single-angled tube on the side lifting rail and into the outrigger socket at the left front end of the lift space. Push it in until the locking pin secures the outrigger pup into place. Step 5. Repeat steps 2, 3, and 4 to mount the remaining side lifting rail to the right side of the lift. Step 6. Locate the extension rail with the red end that, when once installed, will have the end of the extension rail pointing up and the cable attachment lug pointing towards the inside. Insert it into the open end of the side lifting rail and repeat for the opposite side. If you know the length the SE kit will need to span, now is the time to make the adjustment. Your SE kit is capable of spanning a distance range of 106 inches to 128 inches. Simply set the appropriate length to each of the side rails, then tighten the silver knob on the inside of each rail. Never extend the extension rails far enough to show any red paint. Maximum extension is 22 inches. Step 7. Locate one of the end straddle supports with attached winch and cables. On either end, align the two vertical rails of the end straddle support with the end of the side rails, always positioned with the winch handle to the outside. Step 8. Fully insert the vertical rails of the end straddle support into the ends of the side rails and back against the slide pads. Step 9. Locate and insert an end cap with the slide pad against the vertical rail into the pocket of the side lifting extension rail assembly. Secure the end caps by inserting the attached quick release pin into the hole of the pocket just above the end cap. Do not tighten the silver knob on the end caps at this time. Step 10. Attach the winch cable clevis ends, one per side, to the lifting lugs located on the inside of the side rail using the quick release pins attached to the winch cables. It is best to lock the casters with the wheels oriented perpendicular to the side rails to minimize the SE kit movement during assembly. Step 11. Repeat steps 7, 8, 9, and 10 to attach the remaining end straddle supports to the other end of the side rails. Step 1. Install one outrigger from the lift into each of the four corner outrigger sockets of the straddle extension. Push each one in until the locking pin secures it into place. Using the leveling jack on each outrigger beam, lower the outrigger pads until they contact the floor. Step 2. Connect the outrigger interlock cords from the cord reels mounted on each end straddle support to the outrigger interlock adapter outlets. They are located under the platform and mounted to the base of the lift. You can plug either cord into either outlet. When routing the cords, always be sure to route them well away from the bottom of the mast sections to avoid damage to the cords from movement of the mast. Step 3. Turn the power key switch located at the ground control station to the on position and reset the emergency stop switches at both the ground and platform control stations on the lift. If the outriggers are properly set up, the outrigger interlock LEDs will illuminate. Check that each of the four outrigger interlock LEDs are illuminated. The LEDs are located beside the outrigger sockets at each corner of the unit. The lift will not elevate unless all four of the outrigger interlocks are making contact and the LEDs are illuminated. Step 4. Once the outrigger interlocks have been tested, raise the outrigger pads to maneuver the SE kit and lift. Step 1. The SE kit is now fully assembled at a lift and ready to be positioned. If there is not enough room to maneuver the unit into the work position with the outriggers installed into the SE kit, remove the outriggers for positioning of the SE kit near the desired work area. Step 2. With the SE kit in the lowered position, you are now able to maneuver it to the work area. It is recommended that more than one person handle the unit when maneuvering on any slope. Step 3. Once near the desired work area, lock the SE kit casters perpendicular to the side lifting rails. If on a slope, this will hold the SE kit in position. Step 4. Raise the lift by turning the winch handles in a clockwise direction until you reach the desired clearance height and the lift is approximately level. You should alternate from end to end approximately every foot to avoid any binding between the vertical rails of the end straddle support and the slide pads in the side lifting rails. Step 5. When the desired height has been reached and the lift is close to level, align the holes in the lifting rail pocket with the holes in the vertical rails of the straddle's end support. Insert the 2 quick release pins through the holes in each of the 4 corners to secure the lifting rails into position. A very important point is that all 4 holes of the straddle end support will not line up at the same time. Start by pinning the lower of the 2 side lifting rails. This will enable you to lower the lift in order to align the holes in the opposite side lifting rail. Step 6. Once all 8 quick release pins, 2 at each corner, are inserted and secured, release the tension from the winch cables by turning the winch handles counterclockwise. Step 7. Tighten the silver knob on each of the 4 end caps to remove any end-to-end play. Step 8. Move the unit into the actual work position. Step 9. Install the outriggers into the 4 corner sockets of the SE kit. Step 10. Level the lift with the outrigger leveling jacks. Make sure that all 4 casters of the SE kit are off the ground. Verify that the lift is level using the bullet-style bubble level located on the lift's base. Step 11. Once the SE kit is in position, attach the straddle ladder to the side lifting extension rail. It is directly below the entry point of the quick chain side entry platform. Step 12. The SE kit is now fully assembled and in position, and the lift can be operated by using the controls located inside the platform of the lift. Never attempt to reposition the SE kit with the platform of the lift in the elevated position. Step 1. Remove the straddle ladder from the SE kit. Step 2. Raise the outrigger pads to enable the SE kit and lift to be maneuvered. When positioned on a slope, it is best to lock the casters with wheels oriented perpendicular to the side rails to minimize the SE kit movement during repositioning. Step 3. If necessary, remove all outriggers and move the SE kit to an area which will allow access to the straddle end supports. It is recommended that more than one person handle the unit when maneuvering on any slope. Step 4. Loosen the silver knobs on each of the 4 end caps. Step 5. Turn the winch handles clockwise, just enough to lift the weight off of the 8 quick release pins. Step 6. Remove only the 2 quick release pins installed through the vertical rails of the end straddle supports at the 4 corners of the SE kit. Do not remove the quick release pins securing the end caps until the SE kit is fully lowered and the wheels of the lift are on the ground and the straddle end supports are being disassembled. Step 7. Lower the lifting rails evenly by turning the winch handles counterclockwise until the SE kit is fully lowered. You should alternate from end to end every foot to avoid any binding between the vertical rails of the end straddle support and the slide pads in the side lifting rails. Once the SE kit and lift have been lowered onto its wheels and the outriggers have been removed, the disassembly of the SE kit is accomplished by reversing the procedures from the previously viewed mounting section. If there are any questions, please call JLG Product Safety and Reliability Department at 877-JLG-SAFE.